Is democracy good or bad?
Bad.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Benny's Big Talk. I'm here with my bro Lucas. What's up, man?
So,
Kind of like a nephew, kind of, right? How you doing, man?
good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm really glad to have you on the podcast. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So, how old are you, Lucas? Tell us this.
12.
12? 12 whole years, bro. So, what year were you born then? I can't do math.
2012.
2012? Wow. That was the year that everyone said the world was going to end, but you were born in that year, so it's kind of like a whole new beginning, you know? So are you Gen Z or Gen Alpha? Do you know this?
No.
I forget, like, the cutoff, because, like, people born in, like, 9/11, like, you know, around, like, 2000, those people are, like, Gen Z, but you, I think, are Alpha, so you're, like, the next generation, bro, you know? So, like, it's a lot of responsibility, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think you're gonna? I'm not gonna say like what are you gonna do for work, but like what do you want to do when you're older, when you got money, when you got like ability to do things? What do you want to do?
Like, kind of want to be a streamer, just stream games and stuff, have a podcast like you.
Oh hell yeah, man! Yeah. I know you're a good gamer, so like you definitely got potential there, man. You know, it's tough work, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's a big business. People make a lot of money streaming, dude. You know. You just got to have that draw. You got to have that X factor people want to see, you know, so they'll tune in to your Twitch, whatever, you know, and watch, you know. Yeah. So what kind of games you like to stream?
I stream Fortnite, Siege, and Call of Duty.
I don't play Fortnite at all, bro, but I can talk about Siege. A little bit Call of Duty, but like we talked about earlier, but what are your Siege mains?
Doc, Warden for defenders. I play Ram and Ace and Doppelganger on attack.
Dude, I play like the original dudes, you know, like Smoke, Thatcher,
I play
guys
Mute.
like that.
I like Mute on defend.
Mute is badass on defenseman. Yeah, he is, you know, really underrated. I love Smoke. I used to do Smoke a lot, you know, because I just love just gassing out a whole room and just kind of denying anyone from entering there.
Yeah.
I love the British guys too, man. The SAS, they got badass like gas masks and stuff. They're pretty cool. Yeah. For defense, yeah, I like Smoke and I like Capcan with the traps.
Yeah, Capcan's good.
Capcan's great, man. Like, I can just, like, cripple a whole team if I just place my traps right. And I know the technique to place them in just the right, like, part of the door where I know they're not going to be looking as they go through. So I get them, like, every time with Capcan.
Yeah.
I love Capcan, dude. Siege has changed a lot over the years, man.
It has.
It used to be really, like, just really, like, basic, like, realistic, like, operators and stuff like that. And now they got, like, holograms.
Yeah.
They got, like, you know, little flying drones everywhere, which, you know, we have drones, but, like, they got, like, anime girls in there. It's crazy, man. It's strange.
Yeah. And most people try to play Siege fast. And you're really not supposed to play it fast. You're supposed to play it pretty slow.
Kind of strategic, yeah. But it gets into, like, a Call of Duty kind of Twitch reflex thing sometimes, you know?
Yes, like Call of Duty, but usually in Call of Duty you play fast. And you have to play, like, strategic and slow.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, people will do things like, and I hate this stuff, man, when they do, like, window peeking, like, they run out, like, the defenders run out in the beginning, and they try and, like, kill the team before they get inside.
Yeah, they'll break it at the bottom.
Like, bro.
Hit it twice, and they'll just dive out and kill them.
I hate that, dude. I hate that. It's, like, technically, I'm not going to say it's, like, unsporting, because, like, if you beat them, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, we're here to play, like, a strategic game. We take this slow, you know, we take our time. You know, you're supposed to be defending that bomb or whatever, you know, so it's like you aren't supposed to be running out shooting, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it ain't right, dude. I don't know. So Siege, you gotta play Siege like Siege, not playing it like Call of Duty, dude. You know, it's a different game, different medium. You know? How do you like the Phasmophobia?
It is really fun.
What do you like most about it?
Like how you could ghost hunt and stuff, because I like ghost hunting. Like, because I used to watch it a lot, and then I didn't have Steam.
Oh, like the TV shows? Like ghost hunting TV shows?
No, the streamers.
Oh, streaming Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
So do you think ghosts are real?
It's hard to say, really.
Have you ever seen anything that might make you think that ghosts are real?
Seen videos, but most of that could just be fake.
Yeah. These days, anything is fake with AI and stuff, dude. I see fake stuff all the time, man. And
And it looks
everyone
so
believes
real.
it.
Yeah.
Everyone believes it because it's so close to reality. You have to like look for like if just like a finger's missing or something just moves the wrong way
Yeah.
or something. You got to look for little tiny clues because it looks so real these days. I know because I've made some of it, like this logo. Yeah, I don't know. It's scary, but I think that like, do you think there's like a possibility there might be ghosts out there?
Probably on like a different universe.
Different universe, like a multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah, probably.
I think they might be like coming into our universe to kind of like mess with stuff,
Maybe.
Yeah. So like, would you ever go to like an abandoned building and like spend the night and like try and look for ghosts?
No.
Too scared?
Like by myself, no.
Okay,
but
well, see if you had a couple friends.
yeah, then I would probably do that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. What would you take for like your ghost hunting tools?
Weapons.
Yeah. Weapons. What are you gonna fight them with?
Oh, not fight them. People.
Oh, like just in case there's like a homeless guy there or
Yeah.
something? I mean, that's pretty reasonable. I would probably take a weapon too.
Like,
Like some pepper spray or something?
yeah, like the ghost. Oh, you can't even fight them.
Well, you could. It depends on what kind of ghost it is.
Yeah.
You see that behind you there? I actually have the EMF reader from the game there. You see that? Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
that?
That's it on the far left corner.
I
Yeah,
see.
that's the actual EMF reader from Phasmophobia.
It works.
Yeah, it catch ghosts all the time on here, bro.
For real?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Scary.
It just does like it reads like electronic signals. Like you put it near a phone or a computer, like it lights up.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely a possibility there's some ghosts, man.
Yeah.
We can't discount it because like what happens after you die? You don't know.
Yeah. Well, in the afterlife, in heaven, reincarnation.
Reincarnation?
Yeah.
Well, that's different. That's like an Eastern, like an Indian religion thing. Reincarnation. We don't do that with Christianity, right? But it could be. I mean, do you believe in reincarnation?
Not really, but I've heard people talk about it.
What would you want to be reincarnated as if you came back?
Like a shark or something.
A shark? You're gonna breathe water?
Something in the ocean or in the jungle.
A shark in the jungle? You're not gonna be
No.
able to breathe, bro.
No,
You're gonna
like
die.
something in the ocean or in the jungle.
Okay, yeah. So like you could be like a tiger or something too. So you want to be like an apex predator though. Dope. Predators are cool.
Mhm.
They don't live very long, but like, well, some of them do. Like there was this one tiger that was like terrorizing this village in India. He killed like hundreds of people in this village for like years and years, and they were terrified of him. He lived outside the village and they lived in fear for years until one guy went in with a rifle and finally killed him. But like, it would just take a guy like every few months to be like, he got another one. And eventually they found his cave where he was living, and they found skeletons of like hundreds of people from the village that tiger had ate, bro.
Has to be scary.
Yeah, man. Imagine just being, oh my God, dude. You're just like going out at night, and you just like a tiger could be there in time. You just hear it in the background, just like, purring like a big kitten.
Not in Florida though.
Well, we have panthers.
Yeah, those are scary.
Have you seen one?
I have to just.
No, but not in the wild.
Really. No.
Yeah. That would be pretty scary. I'm not sure if they attack you. We have mountain lions also, and those can attack you depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful with any kind of wild animals,
Yeah, anything like raccoons.
Yeah, rabies. Rabies is scary, dude, because if you don't get treated for rabies real quick, you're
like-
going to die.
Buzzing out your mouth, or is that fake?
Yeah. No, they do that, yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't think they'll always do that, but that's a telltale sign that an animal has rabies, They're acting really strange. They're foaming. They're really like shaking. They're like, like if they got that really angry, crazy look,
Yeah, that does.
they
That
kind
is
of lose their
scary.
mind a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you gotta be careful with wild animals. As much as I want to like hug every raccoon I see, it's like it's not advisable.
Yeah.
So Lucas, I wanted to ask you real quick. Like, you're a young guy. I'm a very old person. All right. So my time is done. I'm dying. Hi, Belle. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So we're kind of like passing off the torch to your generation. You guys are
Yeah.
going to take control of things. So like,
Yeah.
is there anything that like scares you about the way the world's going in terms of like if you grow up, because you're gonna have to take care of this stuff. There's gonna be your world. You know,
Yeah.
like anything that's happening right now that's really messed up that you think is gonna make it harder for you, just like to make a living, stuff like that. Like you're worried about like if you might ever have children, something like that, what they're gonna have to deal with. Like what anything you're scared of?
Just how the world's going with all the racistness and
Yeah.
just all the democracy and stuff.
Is democracy good or bad?
Bad.
Bad? Okay. Because like democracy, that's when all the people like participate in like voting for the way government works and stuff like that. You think they shouldn't do that?
Well, they should, because it would, like a dictatorship, it
Yeah.
could turn into that, like Korea and stuff,
Yeah.
and that's just not good, and it could turn into that.
So you think it'd be better if it stayed not a dictatorship? Right?
Yeah, if it was voting, because that's the rights to the people.
Yeah. You think everyone should vote?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like everyone should be able to vote or everyone should vote? I would say two different things,
Everyone, they should vote,
Yeah.
so they could pick who's gonna run their.
Yeah, run the governments,
Yeah,
make
run the
decisions for
government,
them.
yeah.
What if they don't know anything about like politics or anything, or they don't know who they're voting for? They just look at the names and they're like, I don't know who that dude is. Like should they still like go and vote and make decisions? You think?
No, not. I don't think so, because then they could vote for the wrong person.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think. I think that like maybe if you don't know about it, you probably should just like not do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that it's good to like participate in that. Because like we all love the country. We all want good things for it in the future. So like I think it's good to vote.
Yeah.
But so you say you're worried about democracy and worried about racism. Do you think it's like people are more racist now than they were like in like 10, 15 years ago or something like that? Well, you didn't see stuff 15 years ago,
No.
bro. You only got 12 years, dude.
But like racism back then was way worse, like the slaves and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't think you should judge someone based on their color, or
Yeah, no.
judge them
absolutely
based
not.
on anything besides
Well, how should you judge a person?
by their personality, and just by their personality.
Like whether they're good to other people,
Yeah.
like generous or something like that. They're nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to look in the future. I mean, hopefully, like racism just kind of ends at some point if people all of a sudden realize, that there's really nothing that divides us as people.
yeah, there
as
really
long as
isn't.
like I like people who are good people. It doesn't matter what they look like, where they come from, right?
Yeah.
It's the same way. You just like good people, dude. We just want to hang out with nice people that aren't trying to mess things up.
Yeah.
I think it's simple as yeah. So okay, so do they actually give you like iPads in school?
No, we have laptops.
Yeah, but you have laptops in school, like in
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Do the teachers like still do anything?
No, not really. They don't. Besides math, that's really the only one he teaches.
Really?
But all my other 8 different periods, they don't. They just tell us to get online,
Really?
or they'll just hand us a packet and tell us to do
And
it.
there's like some work things you have to do online,
Yeah.
and they just don't do anything else?
No, they'll just give it to us and say do it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Do you like that?
No.
Do you like it if they would actually like teach you and stuff like that?
Yeah, they should actually like teach us and stuff,
Yeah, I think so.
like face to face.
That kind of sucks, man. I didn't learn much stuff when I was in school either, but I just kind of like taught myself stuff, because
Yeah.
like the teachers sucked then too, man. But at least they tried to teach you. They were just like bad at it,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. A good teacher changes everything, dude. Like I
It
would
does.
never want to learn from most teachers. They don't care about it, But a good teacher that makes you want to learn stuff, though.
Yeah, I had a really good teacher at my old school at Rogers. It was
Yeah.
my math teacher. She was a really good teacher.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
They like make you want to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Though, like made it exciting.
I was
and
actually
interesting.
happy to go to her class.
That was cool. It should always be like that. I think bad teachers, they should get rid of them so easily because they're just
Yeah.
ruining kids' lives with their incompetence, man. They just don't care, man.
And like, I feel like teachers have to go based on like their life, because most kids can't learn stuff like that easily.
Yeah.
And they expect everyone to go on the same exact pace. And most
Yeah.
kids they can't just do that.
Yeah, and if there's somebody that's lagging behind, oftentimes they just forget about them.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't care enough to give them like the time to be like, hey, I mean, let me explain this to you. Let me show you maybe in a different way, because everyone learns different ways. Maybe they learn by seeing how something's done, or by like showing them, with writing it,
Yeah.
or like let them do it themselves. But like a lot of teachers, they just don't care, man. They're just showing up.
Yeah, like I have advanced reading and critical thinking.
Yeah.
And like I don't know why I have it. They said because I had good test scores, but I really think it's harder. And like I'm the one falling behind.
Yeah. You think? I mean, do they know? Or do you think they would actually help you if they knew that you're falling behind a bit? And explain things.
Not
together?
really. I have an A in critical thinking, but in history, I have
History's
like
hard?
a C. So it goes like a D to a C because it's like really hard.
Yeah.
And all he doesn't even teach us. He just hands us a packet.
See, I love history, and I think that it's a shame that most history teachers make it boring, because most people hate history. Not most people, but a lot of people do, because they just think it's just like, oh, this happened in 1945 and blah, 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 this conference. History ain't like that. For me, it's exciting because it's people doing crazy stuff, throughout history that put us in the world we are today, and it explains everything that happens now and in the future, because like we're just doing the same stuff over and over again. And people did amazing things in the past, man. Stuff that we couldn't even think of doing these
to
days.
change how we are today.
Yeah. Like there were men who did like insane things, dude. Like, toppling empires like by themselves, just like making a statements that would echo for like centuries,
Yeah.
And that's cool to me,
Like-
but they don't teach history like that.
It was like England, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, England, where they like was controlling all of us. And then when we fought for them with like barely anybody.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
had
like
all
the
those soldiers.
Revolutionary War you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah. Like a few people who if they messed up in America, like those guys would have been killed for like just saying we don't want to be ruled by England, right? But they did it anyways. They said we don't care if we're going to be killed, we want to be free. And so that's a powerful thing, and we still talk about it hundreds of years later. There's people like Julius Caesar. That guy lived 2,000 years ago, and we still know his name because that man was just so powerful, and he did so much. 2,000 years later, we still talk about him, and that's power, man. That's like, there's some people alive today, and people might remember their name for 10, 20 years, but they'll forget about him. But 2,000 years, and they still talk about him. That's just legendary, bro.
That's aura.
And that's aura, dude. Absolutely, Like maybe they'll remember Elon Musk's name in, 200 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But 2,000? Who knows, dude? Are they going to remember your name 2,000 years from now?
Yeah, I'm a hope so.
Oh, yeah, man. I think they might, dude. It's all about you. It's what you got so much potential in life, dude. You got so much you can do, man. It's exciting. It's an exciting time, and man, I think you could get there, man. I think you could be a great streamer. I think you got a lot of life ahead of you. You just got to work hard for that. Make it your goal and do everything you can to get to that point, dude. But you can do it, bro. Absolutely. But anyways, Lucas, this has been a great talk, dude.
Guys.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, bro.
Welcome.
Everybody, this has been Benny's Big Talk with Lucas. Bye, everybody.